Hello guys, today we're going to be solving quadratic equations using the formula method. Now this very method is also nicknamed as the almighty formula by some. Now being on this series for quite some time, in our previous lessons on this series, we looked at how we could solve quadratic equation using the factorization method, and then we moved on to completing the squared method. So today we're going to be using the formula method, also known as the almighty formula. So today we're going to be using the completing the square method, to derive the very almighty formula. So look at what we have. Here we have a quadratic equation. Let's say as squared plus bx plus c raised equals to 0. As you can see, this s is power 2 right here. This s is power 1, and this is s is power 0. So now we're going to derive a formula that will help us solve for the values of x, regardless of any kind of a quadratic equation given to us. So there's no way we can derive this very formula without the help of completing the square method. So if you've not gone through the previous lesson on completing the square method, I will urge you to do that quickly in order for you to be able to keep up with what we are doing right now. So the first thing you're going to do, don't forget, when it comes to solving for the values of x using the completing the square method, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to send this over. First of all, as you can see, this is a quadratic equation. You have x is power 2, x is power 1, and right here, you have x is power 0. So we have coefficient of a, coefficient of plus b here, and coefficient of plus c. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to send this to the other side. That's the first thing we're going to do. So that will be as squared plus bx equals to minus c. Don't forget, we're trying to get the values of x. But while trying to get the values of x, we are going to end up deriving a formula that we know as the formula method. So what do we do next? The next thing we're going to do, we're going to use the coefficient of the unknown with the highest power to divide all through. We have a here dividing all through, a here, a here. So what do we have? A takes out a. We have s squared plus b over ax equals to minus c over a. For those that have seen the previous lesson on completing the square method, I'm very sure that you understand what we're doing right now. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look for a way to transform this very stuff into a kind of quadratic expression that has a perfect root, that is identical root. So how do we do that? We're going to add an imaginary c value to it. So let's add k to this place. Whatever we do to this place, we also have to do to this place to keep it an equation. So plus k here, plus k here. So how do we get the values of k? The value of k, I beg your pardon. So a is plus 1, as you can see. B is plus b over a. YC is the k we are looking for. Now there's a formula which we call the discriminant formula. So for us to get the value of c, which is also the k we are looking for, it is b over 2 raised to power 2. What is b? B is b over a divided by 2 raised to power 2. So what do we have? That is b over a divided by 2 is b over 2a raised to the power of 2. That's the value of k. So we're going to add this b over 2a raised to power 2 to both sides. So that will be s squared plus b over a x, then plus this b over 2a raised to power 2 equals to minus c over a plus b over 2a raised to the power of 2. We're very close to getting the values of x. So what do we do next? It's high time we got this factorized. Don't forget how we do that. The product we have here is positive, while the sum also is positive. So whenever the product and the sum, whenever the product is positive, it means you have identical signs, either plus, plus, or minus, minus. So since the sum is positive also, it means the roots have the same signs, which are positive signs. So what do we have here? Let's open up, let's do this, x here, x here. So we have plus and plus according to what we have here. So b over 2a will spread out, b over 2a, b over 2a equals to minus c over a plus b over 2a raised to power 2. That will be b over 2a times b over 2a, which is b squared. 2a times 2a is 4a squared. So these two are identical. So we're going to pick one of them in this format, b over 2, s plus b over 2a raised to power 2 equals to, so LCM of a and 4a squared, what would that give to us? That would give us 4a squared. So we're going to use our 4a squared to multiply each of the stuff. So 4a squared times minus c over a. 4a squared times minus c over a. A here 1, a here 4a. 4a times minus c is minus 4ac. So right here we have minus 4ac plus 4a squared times b squared over 4a squared. That will give us plus b squared. That's what we're going to get there. So we have s plus b over 2a raised power 2 equals to minus 4ac plus b squared over 4a squared. So what do we do next? It's very, very simple what we're going to do next. This is what we're going to do next. The next thing we're going to do is simply, you're going to take off this very power here. How do we do that? We times it by 1 over 2, and times 1 over 2 here. So 2 takes out 2 here. The power is gone. So you have s plus b over 2a equals to, the 2 here is the square root plus or minus of b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared. Now we're going to move this up here. So let's take off the stuff you have up here. Almost gotten our formula. Almost gotten our formula. So what do we have? That's s plus b over 2a. S plus b over 2a equals to, now those very square roots, we could share them out. The numerator takes its own and the denominator takes its own. So now the plus or minus, I have a plus or minus, square root of b squared minus 4ac over square root of 4a squared. So what do we have? That's s plus b over 2a equal to plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, which is also known as the discriminant, over square root of 4a squared will give us 2a. So what do we do next? We've almost gotten our formula. Once we get the value of x, or the values of x, that becomes our formula. So we're going to send minus b plus b over 2, I beg your pardon, to this side. That'll be s equals to minus b over 2a plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, same thing as square root of the discriminant, over 2a. So x is going to be, these two are the same. So if these two are the same, and just bring together the ones on top. So that'll be x is minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So from here, you can get the values of x. So this formula is what we call the formula method. There's a formula we're talking about. Or sometimes people call this the almighty formula. So there's a quadratic formula. So in our next couple of lessons, we're going to be seeing how we could use this to solve for any values of unknown in any kind of quadratic equation. So at a very point in time, during the course of today's lesson, I'd love you to stay in touch with the next set of lessons. Thank you.